go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robes Away channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Nishane, and this is from their X series. This is Fan Your Flames X. So a flanker to Fan Your Flames. Basically, Nishane, for their 10-year anniversary, that's where the X comes from. They decided to reimagine some of their best sellers. So this X line is, first of all, uber expensive. Second of all, was definitely heavily gifted to influencers. I believe the big push for this one back in 2023, I believe, was at Essence, where they heavily gifted it to anybody that had a camera. You get a bottle, you get the line, because you got 10,000 plus more subscribers. X is a line that basically, I think, personally, I haven't heard much talk about the line as far as fanfare goes. That initial push came through and then crickets. And I can understand why. First and foremost, these are approximately $400 USD a hit for the 100 ml, which I have right here. This is actually the first 100 ml bottle that I'm ever going to see of Nishane live. All my bottles have been 50 ml bottles because, well, I got a big collection. I don't need to spend an extra, I think it's an extra $100, $150 to get double. And then again, it's better bang for your buck, but for a guy like me, doesn't matter as far as per mil. So this stuff is very pricey compared to this. This would be cheaper. The original, you get a 50 mil and I think you'd be happy. So let's see what kind of twist they gave to Fan Your Flames. Not my favorite release from Nishane. It's up there. It's good. It was very solid, and I do have a unboxing or first impression. I think I have a test drive actually of this particular fragrance, Fan Your Flames, years ago. I haven't put too much of a dent into it. Honestly, I haven't put any much of a dent. But it was a fragrance that I felt was very solid from the brand, but it wasn't one of those wow from the brand. This brand is hit or miss, honestly. So first and foremost, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and smash that like button. Much appreciated on my end, especially to my current subscribers. Please hit that like button, much appreciated, so you can get my little mug with all the rest of the influencers that probably are smiling, goofy faces, and putting this in a top 10 list to get their check from Nishane. So let's get into unboxing this thing. There's not much to unbox. Obviously, this is a return product from Fragflex as per usual, so there is nothing really to unbox. But let's take a look at the note breakdown. These usually have a sleeve with them, so I'll kind of start unboxing while you take a look at the note breakdown. And as you can see, not much has changed as far as the note breakdown from what I recall this one. And again, it's not fresh in my mind, but coconut, rum, tobacco, based with some woods. And I'm seeing, as far as the note breakdown goes, pretty much the same thing. I think you could correct me if I'm wrong, but the mastic is what's different, and the carrot seed, I would assume, is something different. This one is kind of like, it's a darker fragrance, but it has a little bit of that coconut. Really helps it being not as dark as it could be. But I really like, this box is giving me a hard time. Anyway, I took a look at the card here. It just has a note breakdown, and it has an imagery of what Nishane thinks of the fragrance, I would assume. So it's fanning the flames on the top of the X, basically, from what I see. So big bottle. First time getting a big bottle in my collection. Yeah, a little thicker. Yeah, that makes sense. The juice is definitely a lighter color. We're seeing same cap, but we're seeing a little more detail in the back of this plaque. It has the logo of the horse, some guy riding a horse, and this one does not. So a little bit of a difference, and of course the gold plaque is different as well. So Fan Your Flames X, released in 2023. Let's get into it. And I also took out, obviously, my bottle of Fan Your Flames. If you haven't noticed, there it is. I got the strip just in case I want to kind of revisit. But let's delve into this one first and see what I get. Atomizer is all right. So Okay. Not as dense as that one, from what I recall. It kinda reminds me a little bit. This might be the weirdest imagery ever, but coconut is in here still. It has a vanillic sweetness to it. It really reminds me a little bit, and I don't want to say this smells designer-ish, but it smells like the Le Beau series from Jean Paul Gaultier a little bit. It has that nothing fancy going on, right? It smells, might as well call a spade a spade. It smells kind of, it doesn't smell $400 USD retail. This stuff is, you know what? I feel like this one has a lot less edges than my original bottle. So let's just, this is not a versus video. And again, I haven't smelled this in a long time. Oh yeah. This one, oh yeah. This one's so much darker. Wow, it's kind of like night and day. First and foremost, I prefer this introduction way more than this one. Much lighter, much lighter. Like, it's like night and day. Night and day. Much more rum, tobacco, cedar in here. Yeah, this one is so much better, personally, right now. This one has that mastic going in, and it gives out an herbal, fresher piece to the fragrance. And with coconut, and here I am wearing it, we'll see how it goes. Let's put a little bit more on there. Let's get the full effect. Yeah, so it feels like the original has more of everything. More oomph, more rough edges, more darkness, more interesting pieces, more complexity, more. And I don't know, maybe this is the imagery they were trying to get to, is kind of, with the postcard here, that they're kind of blowing out, the fire off the X here. Because, yeah, this to me is a lot less appealing, maybe more appealing to more noses that are into the designer genre, kind of getting into niche. I could see that maybe more mass appealing. Mass appealing fragrances, and I'm putting quotations because anybody can say that about any fragrance that doesn't smell, I guess, has any daring notes in it, right? If you got citruses, mass appealing. Okay, what does that even mean? This is not mass appealing for me. It doesn't smell like anything I would purchase for $400, $300, nope. $200, nope. $100, yeah, maybe you're talking now. That's where this is going into. And again, not because it's Free Bottle Brigade. Nishane has done some, and again, Free Bottle Brigade and me, we have our issues. But when you're, again, asking $300-400 USD for a bottle of this stuff, I'm going to be hard on you. I'm going to be harsh on you. And if you smell kind of designer-ish, I'm going to throw it out there. And yeah, less appealing to me. And it has that creamy vanillic. It's not on the, like when I said Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau, it's in the same ballpark. And what are like cousins, but it's better made, obviously. You can smell that. It's not as childish as the Jean Paul Gaultier, but I feel like if anybody likes the Le Beau series, like that coconut vanillic thing that Biche does, a lot more grown up maybe, you may like this. And for me, spending an extra $300 to smell like an upscale Le Beau, no. But that has that creamy vanillic quality. The coconut's toned down actually in here. It is a major piece. There's some coconut in there. But yeah, this one has a lot more of the more interesting pieces, more for me personally. So this one has more colors to it. It has more coconut, more tobacco. The thing I feel like this one has more of is probably the Tonka. That vanillic aspect is really rising. Yeah. And I think it's what's ruining it for me personally. It has this powdery vanillic Tonka bean, basically. And I joke that Bish does that kind of vanillic thing that it's just running through the veins of a fragrance and it kind of ruins it. I know Bish is obviously not the nose behind this, it's Petkov, but it's like that Tonka is ruining what was great in this one. What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, the Tonka is definitely stronger in this one to give you that. Yeah, it makes it more people-pleasing, I guess. If you like Tonka, it just takes away the coconut, it takes away the rum, it takes away the tobacco and the woods and all that's interesting of Fan Your Flames. Really not something. Now it has a little bit of green aspect, which I kind of like. Like there is some interesting, there's a little bit of woods in here, so it still has a little bit of that, but not as much as the original, at least right now initially. It's softer than this one. It's cooler than the original. The original was more warm than cooling. It's almost a springtime version of this, taking away, like stripping away a lot of great things of it. I do get the carrot seed in here, giving out its powdery, earthy tone, almost, I don't want to say clay-like, but it obviously reminisces, that note reminisces of iris. It has that kind of thing, but don't think upscale. It's not doing that. And that mastic giving out a green herbal takes some time in here, also giving out some green aspects, some herbal aspects. There's oak moss and patchouli. I'm not getting any of those at the moment right now, but at the end of the day, Tonka is your central theme in here, with coconut being a high secondary in the opening. You're getting that mastic thyme carrot that really melds into the Tonka. It's blended well into the Tonka, so it's kind of like a big gulp of powdery, white, vanillic, light green touches here and there. That's what I'm getting. Like, yeah, that's what I'm getting from this. So at the end of the day, yeah, not a, no. Unfortunately, like the first Nishane, that's 100 ml in the collection, I prefer something else that's 100 mils in my collection. But it is what it is. This one right here, I feel like this X series, as much as Nishane is celebrating their 10-year anniversary, and congrats to you. I don't know what the other X ones smell like. This is actually my first dip into it. I was really just, not that I was actively ignoring, but Nishane is not a brand that there is some that interest me. It's mostly their older stuff, and stuff that's off the beaten path, like the Annies and all that. I'm not really interested in that. And this X series was very, very influencer friendly. Like I feel like those guys, here, get your free bottles, get your reviews in. I don't feel like there's anything out there at the moment from this X series. And when they first launched it and the whole hoopla, there was nothing out there that really caught my eye personally. So at the end of the day, this one I think is an inferior product for more money, personally. Yeah, you can say, oh, it's more people pleasing and it's, you know, all that jazz. But at the end of the day, no, this ain't it. It ain't it. And it was beautiful. I really like these 100 ml bottles. They're actually gorgeous. They're very heavy. Presentation, exactly what you need. You don't need anything more than this as far as extravagant packaging. Pricing's a little high for what you get personally, but we'll see. Once I get it on my skin more and get some runs with it, we'll see how I feel. But personally, this is a more interesting counterpart, the older version. Don't play with it. You almost ruined it personally. I'm not a fan of this. It's good, but it's not great, and it's not 400 good. So once you put the price tag in it, it's almost like, no, it's not. So 10 ml decants are coming. at fragflex.com. That's where I got mine. They do obviously have Nishane, the whole line on Fragflex, but the 10 ml decants will be coming in next week on Fragflex from me. I'm decanting this one, and you can use my code TFG10 because you follow me on the website. Go check them out. You don't have to buy this. You don't have to buy the 10 ml decants, but take a look, and I do have my code at any time. You can utilize that. Now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below about this particular fragrance, Fan Your Flames X. If you have nothing to say, you haven't smelt it, have you smelt any of the other X's from the line? Interesting to see if there's any other ones that I should be checking out, or should I just be going back to the regular line and checking out? I got, actually, while we're on the subject, to my diehards, I just bought 2 samples of the Nishane line, old Nishane's, Spice Bazaar, I think it's discontinued, I think, and Passion Choco, the chocolate one, which I believe is also discontinued. So I got 2 samples. They were like $5 USD, kind of expensive for samples, but I wanted to test those out before I go on eBay or something and scour the internet to find bottles of those if they are worth it. So that's for my diehards out there that are, you know, once we get back into sampling samples. And as always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent, and especially one that's costing $300 to $400. Choose it wisely. Spend your money wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.